Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Here we go. Welcome in Huntsville. A happy Tuesday morning to you as we get rocking and rolling. Let us know that you're out there. Those comments already coming in this morning, and we would love to hear from you. All you got to do is just send those in to us and let us know how you're waking up as we get started here. Time is 7:33 on a Tuesday, January the 30th. Clear skies again today. Should be another beautiful day here in Huntsville, Texas, and a lot to be thankful for. We are here on a Tuesday. Big thank you to Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers and online at elliotsjewelers.com. We wouldn't be able to bring you this show each and every weekday without our generous support from Elliot. Also, a big thank you to Paul Oley. Love you, Paul, of the Gallery. He is here for all of your custom photography, framing, and more. So please check him out right downtown here in Huntsville. Usually gets here around 10 a.m. So if you've got something you need framed or hung, go by and see him. And Mr. Paul Oley will take care of you. And, of course, certainly we would not be able to be here on a Tuesday without our good friend. We didn't have a chance to do a test this morning, but here he is, Jason Thompson. Jason, good morning, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. How are you?
I'm great. Check that out, man. We didn't even have to test. Everything's working good.
No, everything looks good.
So Jason Thompson here of Guardian Defense, and normally in studio, but I know just trying to rest a little bit this morning, Jason. And but it's good to see. It's not the same though, man, because I don't.
No, it's not the same.
It feels empty over here. I'm trying to like reach for you, man, and I don't know where you're at.
I wish I was there, buddy.
Hey, so you're kind of out in the boonies, man. Do you call it the boonies out where you're at, or what's your
No,
code
I
for it?
call it home.
No boonies out in the boonies?
No, no, out in the boonies. I call it home.
Where did that come from? That phrase, the boonies.
I have no idea, buddy.
You've heard it though before, right?
Oh, I've heard it. I think
Well,
they shortened it from the Boondocks. I don't know.
yeah, you're right. It says the boonies is an expression that's short for boondocks, which is used to refer to a remote rural area. You are out in the boondocks, man. Often perceived as being far from civilization or modern conveniences. You don't have high-speed internet out there. You've got to use a hotspot. So, see, there's some conveniences you don't have, Jason.
That's
The
okay.
word
I have others, though.
Well, the word so here's a little more history. The word boondocks originates from the tag-along word boondock, B-U-N-D-O-K, which means mountain. It was adopted by American soldiers during the Philippine-American War from 1899 to 1902, referring to remote, heavily forested, and mountainous areas in the Philippines. So,
Really?
so there you go, man. You're out in the boonies, Jason. No,
All right. Whatever you
no,
call it.
no fiber internet, no cable TV. You're in the middle of what is it, 80 acres and trees all around you? Is that right?
Pretty much.
So there you go, Jason. And the best place to have a firing range, a firearms range. You don't want to have it in the middle of town. Probably can't have it in the middle of town. You want to have it out in the boonies, and Jason's got it out in the boonies.
Yes, we do.
So, well, man, what's going on? It's been a hot week, man. I haven't seen you.
Just been staying busy, buddy. Had had some full classes this past weekend. We were real thankful for that. And just this so y'all can see me talk.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. And we had some customers come out yesterday and shoot a bunch of guns and had a good time.
Well, that's great, man. Was Ricky? Hey, so wasn't there some roasting that was supposed to go on with Ricky? Did that happen?
It didn't occur near as bad. Miss Claudia, she got a little shy. She was around some strangers. She didn't roast him too hard.
What was the roasting? What was it supposed to consist of, Jason?
I'm not real sure. Claudia says she had something up her sleeve, but it never really matured too well.
Well, that's all right. Ricky's a good guy. Ricky will, by the way, and I can say this with confidence, Ricky will never be on this show, ever.
No, probably not.
And that's not because in a negative way that we don't want him on. I would love for him to be on, but he's like, Rob, I'm not getting on that, man. Ricky just likes to do his thing. He's one of the greatest young men that you could ever meet. He works his tail off, but he just kind of likes to just kind of, be there in the background and do what he needs to do, man. And
that's it.
I said, Ricky, man, I'll get a sponsor. We'll pay you $1,000. He said, no way. I'm still not going to do it.
No, he doesn't want it. It's not about the money.
So, well, we appreciate you, Jason, and the Thompson family at Guardian Defense. We'll talk more about Guardian Defense as we go on this morning. Again, 7:38 as you're waking up. Another beautiful day. Jason, the weather yesterday, man, it was unbelievable. It was a cold start to the morning, but as we went on,
it looked pretty nice from where I was sitting.
So during the week, is the firing range open up during the week at all?
Oh yeah, we're open every day.
So if someone out there this morning says, "Hey, I want to get out there," kind of what's the process? What do they have to do?
They call me on the telephone and say, "Hey, I want to come shoot today," and we tell them to come on. It's just that easy.
You tell them to get on down there and get the rest of it. Is what you do.
Get on down here and get the rest of it. Bring something cool.
Jason, what's your number? So I'm going to put it up on the screen here.
It's 936-293-0364.
All right, well, there you go. Give Jason a call. Go by and see him. Maybe if you just want to hang out, you ain't got nothing else to do today, Maybe you're playing hooky from work.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be beautiful weather today.
The thing is, if you're supposed to be at work today and you decide that you're not going to go to work and you're going to go out to Guardian Defense, don't worry. Jason he won't put it on social media, so you won't get in trouble.
Not today anyway.
Yeah, no social media today. So if you want to, if you just want to skip around from work, don't worry about it today. So, Jason, what's in that cup, man? What do you drink in the morning?
Coffee.
I know, but how do you like it? Well, I mean, what's your coffee of choice?
I don't know. I make it with Folgers coffee, put a little creamer, a little something in there to make it sweet, cover up the taste of the coconut oil that I put in there, and that's about it.
What is it? The coconut oil is good for you, right?
Yes, it is. If you're on a low carb diet, it's really good for you.
Well, man, I told you the other day I felt so bad. Friends are supposed to lift each other up and encourage each other. Friends are supposed to keep each other out of trouble. Friends are not supposed to lead someone down the wrong path.
No, they're not.
Friends are always supposed to be there for you. So I was all of those things except leading you down the wrong path. I messed up terribly on Friday. I kind of felt bad about it, Jason.
Why is that?
I felt bad about it because, I did something that is kind of harmful to you.
What's that?
Well, you know what it is.
Oh, because we went to Grand Buffet last
We went
week.
to Grand Buffet, man, and you're on this. You've been taking care of yourself. You've been eating good. And then I said,
I ate pretty good at Grand Buffet. I didn't cheat very much.
Were you a 2-plater?
Yeah, I got 2 plates.
All right. I was a 2-plater. I didn't get any dessert. I didn't even finish the second plate. I was a plate and a halfer.
You were just a plate and a halfer?
A plate and a halfer is all it was for me on Friday, man. And we ended up getting there late. I felt bad because no, you didn't. No, hold on.
We went on Tuesday.
We went on man, this is
Yeah,
bad.
you went to Grand Buffet twice. You and Billy went on Friday.
I was about to say, man, that's right, because we went twice in 1 week, or I went twice in 1 week. We went on Tuesday with you, and it was after WCRC, and Deneen and Ricky, we went.
Right.
And no, that day I was a 3-plater. I was a 3-plater that day.
Were you a 3-plater? I didn't count.
Yeah, but it was on Friday. We asked Kyle when he was going to be at work, and he said, I got to be at work at 11. We said, perfect, because we're going to Grand Buffet at 12. And
I got out of him having to buy his lunch.
Yeah, so, he figured out what was wrong with Billy's picture the other day. And so we told him, we said, man, we're going to take you to lunch for that. And, I'm just so thankful that he ended up having to work a little bit later than what we expected. But, yeah, we went on Friday. Michelle and I went, Rick and Kay and their nephew, I believe it is, was there. Some of their employees. Billy was there with one of his employee, and Clay Talsworth was there.
Oh, really?
And, man,
I missed out.
Well, brother, I've been really good about being on time for things lately. That's been like a bugaboo of mine. It's just
I noticed. I commented on that last week whenever I showed up for our usual Tuesday meeting, and you beat me there.
Yeah, beat you here, man. Well, in the whole routine, we're starting to slowly get into it. Bridget's been going to work at like 8:30, but I have to get the children. I'm already in the routine of getting them up and getting them ready. And for the first week, Bridget had to be at work at 8:30. Well, now she's got to be there at 7, and then I think next week it's going to start at 6 a.m. So it's kind of a slow progression.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I got into the habit already of getting the kids up, the children up, getting them ready. And Braylon decided yesterday, I talked about on the show, she woke up at 4:20. I was like, please, child, go back to sleep. And she did. She cuddled with us until 5. This morning, luckily, she didn't get up until I had to go wake her up at about 5:30. But the new routine is Bridget's going to be out of the house by 6 a.m. And with 2 children, without mama being there to help get them ready would be really tough on me. Could I do it? Yeah. Would it be like World War VII? Probably so.
Sounds like it.
So I'm thankful. Bridget, we get up a lot earlier now. We're at that Jason Thompson level of getting up now. 5 a.m. at the latest for you, right?
That's it. So, I want to tell you what time I got up this morning.
What was it? You got to tell us now.
3:30.
Man, come on.
Didn't sleep anymore. I took a nap yesterday, man. Forgive me.
Well, so we're in that routine, and it's starting to work, and that's why I've been getting here early. Now, this morning I was really nervous. I was really scared that I wouldn't be here to launch the show at 7:30. And the reason why is, of course, I work full-time at the church over at First Baptist, love the opportunity there for our outreach. But Michelle was in here yesterday, and on Mondays, it's our staff meeting at church. And so Michelle is with us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here at Hello Huntsville. And I give Michelle a key, and she brings it and drops it off at the church. Well, obviously, I haven't been to Learning RX in 2 weeks because I've been forgetting things. So I cruise over here this morning, man. I even have your favorite, Jason. I have your favorite, McDonald's.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
Your number one favorite,
Of course.
preserved breakfast taco.
Right.
I had time to go to McDonald's while I said, because I dropped Braylon off. All right, here's the deal. I can't take Caden. They don't open up where I take him to our friend. She doesn't open up until 7. So I got to take Braylon. I drop her off at 6:45. If I get there at 6:45 or before, I know that I've got a couple of minutes where I can cruise down Sam Houston and go to Jason Thompson's favorite place, McDonald's. So I made it to McDonald's, got my breakfast tacos, and then Caden, my little boy, is with me, and then I'm able to drop him off. So I got him off at 7. Got him there, dropped him off 7:03, and I got over here. I was feeling good, Jason, about 7:14 or so. By the time I got here to the studio.
7:14.
Feeling real good, right? Well, I totally forgot to grab my key yesterday when I left church that Michelle had dropped back off.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, the church is right around the corner, so I was able to pick up the key real quick, get back over here, and I think we actually started the stream at 7:29 this morning, so we were still early.
Yeah. Yeah, we were still early.
So
hey, if you go to the hardware store, they'll cut you another key.
yeah, but it's one of those things. I don't want like a million of them floating around.
Well, but you trust her. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have an extra key, just one. I didn't say go get a bunch.
Well, I got to talk to Paul about that, because he's
It
generous.
is his building.
Yeah, he's generous with the space here, and I trust Michelle, obviously. But yeah, I'll just talk to Paul. We'll make it easy. So I have a question though. I want to go back. I want to circle back to something because I was thinking about this last night. It's the things that keep you up at night sometimes that make no sense. And last night I woke up probably 4 times. We were talking about this getting up really early.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't dig into the details about this yesterday. But I think Jamie Saucier said that he gets up at like 1 or 2 in the morning because he won yesterday when we gave away a gift card to Cafe Texan. He won a $30 gift card to Cafe Texan. He told us on the phone, Jason, that he wakes up at 1 or 2 in the morning. And Jamie, if you're with us this morning, shed some light with us, if you don't mind, about what it is that makes you or why you get up that early. And secondly, what time do you go to sleep at night?
Probably pretty early.
Because I'm thinking, man, that's like donut wheel hours.
Yeah, or truck driving hours.
Well, I talked to the young lady at Donut Wheel the other day, and I said, what time do you come? Because I think they open up at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, something like that, 4:30. Most of the donut places do.
Well, I saw that, and I said, what time do you come in here at? And she said, I'm usually here by 2. And I said, man, I miss the days, Jason. I miss the days when I used to go to bed at 2 a.m.
Oh, you miss those days?
Yeah, and I would wake up at 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
I had my IT business. We didn't open until 10 in the morning. We were open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. There was some strategy to that because we didn't want to run a business that was 8 to 5 because people would not be able to bring their computers to us during the workday. Most of them couldn't. So we stayed open
till 7.
Most people get off at 5. And so I didn't go into work. I didn't go into my office till 9 o'clock back in the day. And so I used to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning. And I feel at that time, I honestly felt more productive because some people say, oh, when you get up in the morning, when you wake up in the morning and you get up early, you can get so much done. But I think it really depends on the industry that you're involved in.
I think it depends on the individual. I mean, everybody has a time of the day that they, feel their best and get more stuff accomplished. The average person isn't going to work for 8 whole hours a day. They're going to work for really hard for 3 or 4 hours, and that's when they get most of their work done.
I used to be the most productive, honest to goodness. We'd close that shop at 7. Now, of course, I was single, didn't have family then, didn't have children.
Right.
I think I had a girlfriend. Obviously, it didn't work out very long because I was working so late.
Right.
But it worked out great because I have Bridget as my wife now, my children. So it worked out
That's
great.
it. It all happens for a reason, man.
But there was just something about that time from 7 to midnight. There was something about that time that I was the most productive, Jason. And I guess it was just because I was laser focused. And I had this terrible routine, horrible routine. And I'm going to let you in on it because I remember the price was $4.59.
Okay, so, what was this terrible routine?
So I'm telling you, I'm working late, right? We close at 7. I just mentioned a price of $4.59. Do you have any inkling of what that routine is, Jason?
Oh, I imagine you probably went to a place like McDonald's and got some food.
100% right, except it wasn't McDonald's. It was none other than Taco Bell every day.
Oh, Taco Bell.
I think it was the start of my esophagus deteriorating. In my mid-20s, I had found out. Who knew this morning we were going to talk about a sphincter valve on this show?
A sphincter valve. Oh, good Lord.
You got
it's
two of
deep already, buddy.
Jason, you got 2 of them. I'm only talking
about. I know where the 2 of them are, buddy.
We're only talking about the one up here. And it is the little valve that augments your esophagus that when you swallow, and it's like a ripple effect. When you swallow food, it's literally a ripple effect down to your belly. But there is a sphincter valve in your esophagus.
Yes, I know that.
Well, mine unknowingly is deteriorating. And
really?
I attribute it to all of the nasty Taco Bell that I just engulfed in my 20s because I would work. Like I said, man, we'd close the shop at 7. I was hungry. Taco Bell was right down the street. It was $4.59. I would always get the Gorditas combo with a Baja Blast and a bean burrito with sour cream on the side every time.
Mm-hmm.
Never failed.
Never failed.
And that also came with one of those nasty tacos as well that's not good for you.
No.
So I would literally eat 4 pieces of Taco Bell and a soda literally every day, Jason.
Man, that's a lot of Taco Bell. That is a lot of Taco Bell.
Yeah, probably not healthy. And so as I got older, I would later find out acid reflux was terrible. And I had a procedure done. Now, this is the educational segment of this show. If you have acid reflux, there's numerous procedures. Do you have, first and foremost, Jason, do you have reflux?
No, sir.
Never had it. Never had an inkling of it.
Nope.
Man, I've had burning right here in my chest since I was 20 years old.
Oh, that's not good.
Had it, yeah. And you know what? And I want to encourage people. I'm not a doctor. Let me put that disclaimer because I don't want anybody going to the FDA and turning me in. I'm not a doctor, but I will tell you, if you have any type of burning in your chest that goes on for an extended period of time, you need to go get that checked out. We all know the tragedy of pancreatic cancer. It's a horrible, horrible form of cancer. One of the leading causes of cancer deaths, unfortunately. By the grace of God, I know a gentleman that the Lord healed him of that. Stage 4, healed of pancreatic cancer. He knows 9 other people that did not make it. And he said, and when I say not made, I said they didn't make it here on earth. If they're a believer, they were healed in heaven.
Correct.
But I was talking to this gentleman about that, and I started thinking about all the things that happen to people. And one of the other silent ones, and the reason the pancreatic is so hard is because you don't notice it usually until it's too late.
Right.
It's very, very hard to detect just from your body until you really start having something bad happening. Well, the same goes in a way for people that get esophageal cancer. And I learned all about this when I was young because of this sphincter valve. But the deal is that if you have constant burning in your chest or in your esophagus, that you could have an issue with that valve not closing properly. And the problem with it is, and I didn't know anything about this, and man, I had an upper endoscopy. That's where let's just say the upper endoscopy, Jason's probably a lot better than the lower endoscopy.
I understand that, but I got a bad gag reflex, so that ain't happening.
Well, that put you to sleep, man, so you don't know it.
I don't know about that.
Well, and I'll never forget this. And man, I won't say the name, but some of these doctors and medical clinics, I think it's just how many people can you get in and how much money can you make. When you pull into a parking lot of a medical clinic, and look, guys, I'm not judging if you drive a Mercedes or an Audi or what, that's your deal. But when I drive into a medical facility and all I see in the parking lot is Audi, Mercedes, what's the other one? Range Rover. I'm like, man, it don't even matter if you have insurance at that point. You know that you're going to pay an arm and a leg.
That's it.
Especially now. I won't get political, but years ago, prior to 2008, and you had insurance, it actually worked pretty well.
Correct. Nowadays, our insurance doesn't work worth anything, really.
I was lucky. I paid $50 for a procedure, or $500 overall for 4 or 5 procedures that ultimately cost nearly $100,000. That's how good insurance used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was only paying $400 a month for the best coverage, Scott and White, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue was, I went to this gastroenterologist, Jason, and I'll never forget. And I still have the picture saved. I should show it. I don't have time to dig it up, but I've got it saved. And I'll never forget, whenever I looked at that picture of my esophagus, it looked literally like somebody took sandpaper on the inside of it. And I remember telling him that. And you know what he told me? He goes, "Oh, that's just the ink in the printer. It didn't print right."
That's just the ink in the printer.
The ink in the printer. So I went on for the next year believing that everything was whatever. He just told me to start taking Nexium. If you take Nexium every day, again, I'm not a doctor, but if you take Nexium, if you have to take it every single day, I've learned a lot of bad about some of these acid medicines just because I had to deal with it. That stuff over time will deteriorate your bones. It's not good to take that stuff every day.
That's right.
That was his solution. For me, being in my early 20s, take Nexium every day for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that pain has started to get worse and worse. I was so blessed to connect with a doctor named Dr. Buckley at Scott and White Health. At the time, I didn't realize Scott and White had everything under one umbrella. It was an awesome healthcare system, again, before insurance got messed up. But they had everything. You need blood work, you go to Scott and White. You need an x-ray, you go to Scott and White. Everything was under their own umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found Dr. Buckley. He's a gastroenterologist. He goes, "Man, that is not right. There's something wrong. We need to take another look at this." He went in there, and here's where I'm getting with all this and why I mentioned a pancreatic cancer and all this earlier. Over time, all that burning can lead to your esophagus turning into something called Barrett's esophagus. Barrett's esophagus is very, very serious, and it's a precancerous form of esophageal cancer. And what I learned through this whole process was, and again, I'm not a doctor, and maybe I'm wrong, but what I learned and what I remember to have learned was that over time, all of that acid in your esophagus spewing up into your esophagus, what it did is it turned the inside lining of your esophagus basically into the same cells as your stomach cells. And because of that transition or that morphing of cells, that is the quote unquote cancer.
That's all cancer is abnormal cell growth.
And that's what happens. Whenever you have so much reflux, your esophagus, your body starts to try to defend against that burning. And so what it does is it basically starts producing stomach lining cells in your esophagus. That is Barrett's esophagus. And if that continues on, it could turn into esophageal cancer, which is really bad. And it is another leading cause of cancer. Very hard to cure esophageal cancer. So my whole spiel on all of this is, number one, don't eat bad food every day. And number two, don't eat Taco Bell. And it's no longer $4.59, by the way. I tried it the other day. I really did. I finally said, man, I got to have some. It's been a long time. It's probably about a month ago. It was like, dude, it was like $14 now.
Ooh.
for that same meal that I would always get. But
And probably got less food.
number one, eat better. And number two, if you got anything burning in your chest, please go get that checked out. And don't wait around. It's not a good thing. And that's all I wanted to say. Jason, I mean, it's great that you don't have the reflux, because even right now, I've got a little bit of burning in my esophagus. Here's a long story about all the short story about all this whole thing. So I meet Dr. Buckley. He finds out what's going on. I didn't have Barrett's esophagus. He puts in a magnetic bracelet in my esophagus called a Lynx device. The Lynx device it augments the sphincter valve, and basically it keeps your esophagus closed. When you swallow food, boom, the magnets of that bracelet pop open, food goes down, and the magnetism closes it back shut. You're good to go, right?
Right.
Well, it's good to go if your sphincter valve is okay. Well, mine is still deteriorating, and you fast forward, and a $20,000 surgery is what I was told, which, in today's terms, I guess isn't bad for medical costs, but it's bad whenever you're married and 2 children, and even with insurance, I don't know what it's going to cost. So long story short, I've been stuck with this magnet in my esophagus since 2008, and there's nothing that I can really do about it. So
yeah, that's why you have to go to the special MRI machine.
Yeah, I can't. I got to go to the 0.2 Tesla MRI when they've got like 18 Tesla now.
Right.
I went into an MRI, man, to get on my head a while back, because you remember, man, I was having these weird twitches.
Yeah, I remember.
Like weird.
Yeah, that weird feelings in your hands and your arms. I remember that.
Yeah, it was like and it happened. You remember one show? I think you were, and I just told you, I was like, dude, I feel weird, man.
Yeah, right at the end of the show, as soon as we ended the show, you turned over, you go, I didn't think I was going to make it till the end.
Yeah, it was that weird,
aura.
This is like turning into
aura.
It's turning into a medical segment here this morning. We're highlighting the good, by the way, in Huntsville all the time. But no, it was weird. Like one time I had this, panic attacks. That's a real thing. And and as I got older, growing up, I started to have panic attacks. And what helped me to overcome that was talking to a young lady that I knew that had the same thing.
Yep.
And God healed me of it. I quit having them. I was thankful to meet this young lady. She told me, I was like, I remember as a child, I'd be out in the sandbox, and all of a sudden I'd go run inside because I felt weird. My mom was like, what's wrong with you? And then as I got older, I even in high school, I was in the middle of playing basketball one time, Jason, and ended up out of nowhere having a panic attack.
Really? Just playing basketball?
I was in the middle of running down the court, and this like impending doom comes over you. It is the weirdest feeling out of nowhere. And I'll never forget, I ran. I was like, guys, I can't finish this game. And I'm in the middle of playing. I'm thinking about basketball. I'm not thinking about anything else.
Right.
But I'll never forget the girl's name. Her name was Carrie. And Carrie, I went to high school with her. And through a friend, I was telling a friend of mine, a friend of hers, I was telling her, I said, this weird thing keeps happening to me. She goes, you know what that is? That's panic attack. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm a guy. I don't deal with any of that kind of stuff. And she goes, no, Carrie has them all the time. Go talk to her. And I started talking to Carrie. And then I was like, finally, I figured out. And then after I talked to her, I never had one again, ever.
Really?
Until that day when you were on the show with me. And it was almost that same feeling, but it was a little bit different. And then it was like this weird tingling. And they always say, man, if you got tingling and you got pain, especially in your left arm, you better get to the doctor.
Oh, yeah. Especially the left arm.
And so, anyways, whatever all that was, the MRI, they wanted to check for, I was at the age of MS, honestly. And so they wanted to check and make sure. But then I started researching, like that 0.2 Tesla is not going to tell you anything. 0.2 Tesla is like looking at a photo from NASA in the 1970s of Mars.
Okay. Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? It's all blurry. You can't really tell what's going on.
Right. It's not like the 13 Tesla machines now that it's, really digitized and clear.
Yeah. And you can, and you can see detail like never before. So a 0.2 Tesla things, you can make out a little bit, but it's kind of blurry.
I got you.
How many of our lives, let's think about this for a minute, Jason. How many of our lives are like a 0.2 Tesla this morning? You can see things,
I don't know.
but not with clarity, maybe just a little bit blurry.
That sounds like me about right now.
You can get to a 13 Tesla by opening up your Bible and praying and thanking God every day. And when you develop that faith and that relationship, that 0.2 Tesla will turn into a 13 Tesla, and you have much more clarity.
Yes, it will.
So there you
Yes,
go.
it will.
There you go. Anyways, all is well. Everything's good. And, I just wanted to share a couple of those life moments with you this morning. Hey, let's get to some comments here in a few moments. We're going to step aside. We'll take a brief break. We'll reset. We got the National Day. Today, Jason, it's the National Day of something. It's something that I think you and I will really enjoy. So we'll talk about that.
That sounds good.
When we come back. It's not National Barbie Day, Jason. I know that's one thing that you were hoping. Not National Barbie Day.
Oh, that was just my favorite.
But it is something that you and I think our audience is going to enjoy. So we'll talk about that when we come back. Hey, today we're giving away a Hello Huntsville swag bag. Been a while since we've given away one of those. We've got some goodies from the Color Bar. We've got some T-shirts to give away and a few other items. And all you got to do to win is text in the keyword, it's SMILE. And again, SMILE is the keyword. Text that in on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Again, that number, 936-339-0139. As always, our shows every Tuesday brought to you by our friends at Guardian Defense. They are the experts here in this area at personal safety. Check them out online, GuardianDefenseLLC.com. They've got a firing range, firearms, and much more. They are your one-stop shop for all things self-defense here in Huntsville, Texas. We'll take a break. We'll hear our national news, a word from our sponsors. Stay with us. More to come. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
USA News, I'm Ryan Daniels. The White House and President Biden say there will be a response for those responsible for a drone attack that killed 3 U.S. soldiers at a base in the Middle East over the weekend.
We do not seek another war. We do not seek to escalate. But we will absolutely do what is required.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby talked to reporters late Monday saying the president will make the decision when the time is right. And not a moment before, the U.S. says an Iran-backed militia group launched the deadly drone attack, injuring several dozen more U.S. service members at a base in Jordan last Saturday night. U.S. central bankers will meet in the Federal Open Market Committee beginning today, kicking off the group's first meeting of the year. Following the 2-day session, analysts believe key U.S. interest rates will likely remain unchanged. At the same time, a rate cut in March is still considered a possibility, if not a likelihood. The Biden administration is urging House Republicans to support the forthcoming bipartisan border deal expected from the U.S. Senate.
The bipartisan agreement that they're coming forward with are things that House Republicans have said over and over again, this is what they want to see.
This follows House Speaker Mike Johnson's recent remark that the deal is likely to face opposition in his chamber, citing its perceived inadequacy. President Biden asserted that the evolving agreement represents the toughest and fairest set of reforms for securing the U.S. border. I'm John Schaefer.
Former South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh will not get a new trial over the killing of his wife and son. The convicted killer was found guilty by a jury back in March of last year, but his lawyers have claimed the court clerk for Colleton County tampered with the jury. Murdaugh received 2 consecutive life prison sentences for the 2021 killings. This is USA News.
I'd like to introduce you to our new sponsor, Get the Tea. Get the Tea carries all-natural, non-GMO organic teas and supplements made in the USA. Get the Tea's ingredients are the purest available. My favorite is Life Change Tea. Life Change Tea is a gentle daily cleanse containing 12 herbs that, when combined, really keep things moving. I drink it every day, and my energy has never been better. I'm feeling great. Life Change Tea comes in 3 delicious flavors: natural, peppermint, and pomegranate. It's an easy and delicious way to keep your digestion on track. And for those on the go, try D365. D365 is Life Change Tea in a capsule. Drink the tea or take D365 capsules and keep your digestion running smoothly. Go to getthetea.com and enter discount code USA to get 10% off any size order. That's getthetea.com, discount code USA for 10% off your order.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
Hey listeners, Rob here, and I'm excited to welcome Abby from the Color Bar, where they're all about meeting every community need with continuous innovation.
Thanks, Rob. We're thrilled to evolve, offering stylish cuts for kids, men, and women, alongside expert coloring services.
That's fantastic. What's new and exciting in the world of the Color Bar?
We're always adding to our repertoire. Whether it's trendy cuts for all ages or dynamic coloring techniques, our team is geared up for it.
That's great to hear. Any sneak peek into future plans?
Our community drives us, Rob. Stay tuned for more services on the horizon, ensuring we cater to everyone's unique tastes.
Exciting times ahead. And Abby, tell us about the Color Bar's locations.
We're not just in one spot, we're spreading the magic in multiple locations. You can find us in Huntsville and Conroe.
Fantastic. So listeners, for a stylish experience with the Color Bar, visit colorbartx.com or call 936-439-4972. With multiple locations, they're here to give you a look that feels uniquely yours.
We can't wait to welcome everyone to the Color Bar.
Welcome back out at Huntsville. Time now 8:12 in the a.m. Thanks for joining us as you wake up with us here. It is your morning show dedicated to all things good happening here in our wonderful community. I want to remind you, as always, how blessed we are to be here in Huntsville. This is a city on the move with great people. We love it here. It's why we moved back. I've said it before on the show. Somebody said, why didn't y'all go back to Georgetown? I said, well, Huntsville is home to us. We, of course, love our town we grew up in, but Huntsville is now our hometown. And we love it here. And coming up in just a couple of months, we'll be back here for, my goodness, it's going to be almost a year coming up pretty soon. We want to welcome you back in. Thanks for being with us this morning. As always, our shows here downtown, our studio made possible by Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers. Check him out online at elliotsjewelers.com. A big thanks to Paul Oley of the Gallery as well for helping to provide this space. And, of course, on a Tuesday, our good friend Jason Thompson, the Thompson family from Guardian Defense, back in the house with us. Jason, man, been a good morning so far. Crazy to see.
Yes, it has.
We've already been going 45 minutes, my friend.
Doesn't feel like it.
I wonder if the show will ever expand to 2 hours.
Don't know. We can chase that rabbit down that trail when the time comes.
We normally go an hour and a half anyways, It's we try to keep it an hour. Then by the time we sign off, it's like, it says 120, 125. We never know where things are going to go. Well, Jason Thompson's here with us from Guardian Defense. Jason, give us some updates on just how things are looking on the security front. There's a lot going on in this world, and any time is the best time to make sure that you're protecting yourself and your family. So give us some updates on some things that you guys are doing to help folks in that realm.
Well, that's what we do in our classes. We try to get you guys prepared, for what may happen in the future. Get your plan of action right so that you're ready to react if someone threatens your safety or the safety of your family.
And you can do that at Guardian Defense. You can find them online at guardiandefensellc.com. In fact, I first met Jason in the early days of WCRIC, Walker County Referral Cooperative. Back then, it was 1212 12th Street at 12. It was 1212 1212 as the group. And Jason and Ricky, you guys came in, gave a crash course on personal security. And I thought, and you know what's awesome about that is, that was the first program that I remembered that we had. And I know we had Coach Southern. He came by and talked to us one time about some updates with the bond that was going on.
Right.
And I also remember Tyler Young was there talking about financial things and life insurance when Colby was working with him. But I specifically remembered y'all's presentation, and it struck.
Yeah, I just did a shortened version of living safely in an unsafe world.
And there was a lot. It was eye-opening. And, Jason, since that time, I kid you not, and that was only, 30 minutes, if that?
Yeah, 25, 30 minutes maybe.
There's not been hardly a day that goes by where I don't think about something that you said, and the biggest takeaway from that is always be aware of your surroundings.
That is, I can't stress that enough.
There was a friend of mine, his name's Tall Harris, and Tall, kind of a unique name, T-O-L, Tall Harris. Great guy, one of the best dudes you can meet, just down-to-earth, humble guy. And he was always, even to this day, super aware of his surroundings. And he'd call me sometimes, and I used to rent a little house from downtown Georgetown. Man, I used to rent a house from this guy for $600 a month, unheard of nowadays.
Yeah.
Offered to sell me that house, Jason. It was like 2004, offered to sell me that house for $60,000. I was 2 years out of high school. I said, no way. I don't want to get in debt. That little.
Yeah, and you're kicking yourself in the rear end for not buying it.
That house was in downtown Georgetown, which is, one of the most beautiful squares in the country. They've been nominated for that.
Right.
And here's the deal. I talked to him the other day. I said, I haven't talked to Tall in a long time. I picked up the phone and I called him. And I said, Tall, how much of that, y'all still have that house? He goes, no, we sold it. And I said, what did you sell it for? He goes, a few years after you moved out, we sold it to a lady for $160,000. I was like, man, and you offered it to me for $60,000? He goes, yeah, but we just saw it resold again, $415,000 it resold for.
Yes, sir.
Little 800 square foot house, 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. You had to suck in your belly because of all the Taco Bell you ate to get through the doors. And that went for over $400,000.
All I can say is location, location, location.
Yeah. Anyways, don't live a life of regret. Well, hey, we got some comments. We were talking about something. I totally forgot what it was, so we're just going to switch gears here. We were
talking about the National Day of before we went to the break.
We will. We're going to have that in a minute. We will have that. Thank you, Jason. Had a few comments come. I had an idea, just a thought pop into my head because we're talking about food this morning. It's always good to talk about food. I put a comment up here, and many folks have responded. I said, what is your go-to place to eat in town? Tara Burnett over at the Hearts Veterans Museum. Humphrey's Bar and Grill is always our go-to, along with Rodeo Mexican Bar and Grill. Richard and Linda Hodges-Horn said Cafe Texan, Sam's Table, and the Big E's, our go-to places. We mostly eat at home, so when we go out, it's for a treat. All of those places are so great. I haven't been to Humphrey's in forever, Jason. You ever been over to Humphrey's?
I've been to Humphreys a few times. They have really good food.
Man, they got great burgers over there. Let me ask you this: since you're back on a diet, right?
Right.
So, if you eat, can you eat a burger? And if you do you just scratch the bun and do the rest? How do you do that?
Yeah, pretty much. I just cut the bread out.
Humphreys,
no fries.
Humphreys, good. They got the burgers. Rodeo Mexican Bar. That's Delfina. We love Rodeo. Trivia over there every Monday.
Yep.
Didn't have it this Monday, but you can go to Trivia on Monday. Cafe Texan. Awesome.
I'm going to do that one of these weeks. Go to Trivia.
Go, man. It's a lot of fun. Bridget and I went once, and we'd love to go back. The only reason that we can't go back is the children. It's just too hard. Man, it's too hard. It's too late.
Right.
What time are you getting in bed, man?
I go to bed. Just depends. Usually 9 to 11 o'clock.
9 to 11, but you're still getting up at 3:30, 4?
Yeah, I don't require a whole lot of sleep.
Dude, you need to get some rest, man. 7 hours, they say. I was always told growing up 8 hours. I've seen medical whatever documentation said 7 hours is a good number as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're usually in bed at 8 o'clock, and it's like we get the chip, man. It's funny, man. 6:45. You can ask Bridget. I'm starting to get kind of rowdy because I'm starting to get not rowdy. At 6:45, I'm starting to get irritable. That's the word I was looking for.
Getting irritable. You ready to go to bed?
I'm ready to get the children in the bath, put them to bed, man. By 7:30, I want them in bed.
Okay. Now, when you go to bed, do you go right to sleep, or do you lay in bed and relax, or read, or watch TV, or anything like that?
I fall asleep pretty quick. I have. This is like the medical show today. I was diagnosed with narcolepsy years ago, but not cataplectic narcolepsy. That's where.
Do what?
That's cataplectic narcolepsy.
Okay.
You're probably wondering, what did you do, man?
You just acted like you fell asleep.
See, they wanted me to start taking Provigil. Have you ever heard of this mess?
Never heard of it.
Provigil's like GHB or whatever, that terrible thing that people drug people with.
Oh, that date rape drug.
And they wanted me to start taking that. And the problem with it was, here's the deal, because I don't fall into like a deep REM sleep, according to the sleep.
Okay.
Well, later on, I would find out the sleep center told everybody that they had this. It's just easy.
Mm-hmm.
Hook up a bunch of wires, make it look good, and then tell you have narcolepsy. And so they wanted me to take this stuff. And I said, well, what do I have to do? They said, you got to wake up at least twice at night to take it. I said, well, then how does that benefit anyone that's not sleeping well when you're telling me to wake up twice a night to take it?
That's it.
I never took it. Never took it. I said, forget it.
I wasn't taking it either.
I'm not doing it. And and Bridget gets on to me all the time, but I'm also not a big fan of just taking medicine just to take, like I got a headache, so what? I'll let it run its course.
That's it. You got a headache for a reason.
Yes, sir. But anyways, it is what it is, man. A lot of people were saying we're going to get to the what day is it today here in just a few moments. Some people were chiming in on their go-to. Jason, when you guys get a chance to go out, what is your go-to eatery here in Huntsville? Your go-to eatery?
We generally either go to Sam's Place or Cafe Texan.
Both really good. That's a thing. If your restaurant has good food, it doesn't matter if you're a corporation or a small business, you're going to succeed in Huntsville.
That's it.
I've seen some chatter saying, well, the city doesn't support business. Yes, it does. But you have to have places that people
You have to have good food.
We love going to City Hall, man. I love City Hall. Fried chicken is unbelievable. One of my favorite. Rodeo. All these restaurants we love.
Oh, yeah. There's more than that. Those are just the two that we generally go eat at if we're going to eat out. Most of the time, it's eating at home.
One of my absolute favorites is Mandy over at Fiesta Taqueria.
At Fiesta.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes. I love to eat at Fiesta.
You go into Fiesta Taqueria, take a family of 4, you're going to walk out of there with a bill that's $25-$30.
It's affordable and the food's good. And if you haven't tried it, next time you go, order the dish called mud.
Oh, that mud is good. The mud dip.
Yes, the mud dip.
And there's something that's not on a menu, And this is why it's important that you watch Good Morning Huntsville, because you're going to learn things about this community. I'm learning. Only been here 4 years. 4 years. I'm learning things that I had no clue about.
I can make a meal out of that mud dip.
Well, there's something that she has that's not on the menu. And you're going to hear, maybe you already know about it. If you do, let us know that you knew about this. Poblano spaghetti.
I didn't know about Poblano spaghetti.
Yeah, see, you didn't know about it, but you know now because of this show. Poblano spaghetti.
Interesting.
Ask Mandy for it when you go in there. Say, Miss Johnson, do you have the Poblano spaghetti? And some days she doesn't have it, but some days she does. And it's going to change your life. Our good friend Jamie Salas over at Osprey Storage message. Good morning, Jamie. She said, where is this? It's located off Highway 190. So just right outside. Is that heading out towards your house, Jason? Are you guys off 190?
Yes, sir. We're off of 190.
So you just go right on down 190, take the exit there.
It's probably, a mile and a half past Highway 19 on the right.
All you do, get 19 and take the exit. You're going to pass the Walker County, I think it's the appraisal district out there on the right.
And it's just right past it.
I thought when I first moved to Huntsville that the place that was on the left, I thought it was a movie theater, but it's a liquor store.
It used to, when I was a kid, it was a movie theater.
Was it really?
It was. You go by there on the weekends, I think there were two screens. They had one up front and one at the back where that pond is now.
Is that why they call what's it called? Like show what?
The picture show.
So it legitimately was a movie theater.
It was a drive-in movie theater when I was a kid. And then that closed up, and then somebody opened up a sporting goods store. And they had like some exotic, they put in some high fence and put some exotic animals for people to come look at. And, you could go in there and buy, guns and bow and arrow and fishing stuff. And they had that pond dug back in the back. You can't really see it now, and had it stocked and everything. And the next thing you know, now it's Lone Star Liquor.
So how do you go from a 2-screen drive-in theater to a sporting goods store to a liquor store?
Oh, well, hang on. There was one. There was a business in between the liquor store and the sporting goods. One of the oil field companies was making mud there, oil field mud, for a while.
It's only in Huntsville, man. Could you have that many different types of businesses in one location?
That's it, babe.
That's
what's great about Huntsville.
That's what we love it, man. I'm not poking fun. We love it. We're here love it, man.
And the gentleman that owns the Lone Star Liquor places, I told him the story one time, and he goes, "I always wondered what that well was doing up there in the front by the creek." Well, that's what used to happen around here.
Jason, what's a place? How long you been in Huntsville, man? It's been a long time.
It's been a minute. We moved here in 1982.
God, man, I wouldn't even thought of then.
No,
I thought you and I were close to the same age, Jason.
No, I got you about 7-8 years.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you were a young boy though when you moved here.
Yeah, I was about 7.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Been here about 40 years.
So what is something that this community used to have, Jason? Think about the things that used to be here that are no longer here. What is maybe one or two things that you can think of that you really miss that you wish was still here?
I don't know if there's anything I wish was still here. I know some popular things where HEB was. There used to be a Hastings, and that was kind of a cool place to have in Huntsville.
That is really cool if you think about Hastings in Huntsville. Yeah.
Yeah, it would. But before they tore all that down, Hastings was in that facility. That's about all I really remember. That I would, really miss. But man, has it changed? I mean, over where the Color Bar is, that used to be Riley's Food King. That building where UTMB has their pharmacy.
Yeah.
Where Family Faith Church was, that was a strip center that had like a store called Wieners in it, and I think a Piggly Wiggly.
I remember when my mom used to get her scrubs at a Wieners in Round Rock.
Yeah.
When she was nursing. I remember going with her to
Right.
Wieners to get scrubs.
Well, I remember going there to buy school clothes when I was a kid.
So the mall, back in the day, the mall was actually hustling and bustling. Was it legitimately a mall? I mean, I know it was, but was it legitimately busy?
It was a mall, but it just never really was that busy.
What was it?
I mean,
What
you
was
could
in
go.
there?
Oh man, they had a store called Bell's or Beals, however you
Yeah,
pronounce it. J.C. Penney. They had a Foot Locker in there. They had a little small cafe. And at one point, Brian Hunsinker from Hunsinker Farms cooked in there. Trying to remember what else was in there.
There was quite a few, right? I mean, there was probably 30 little businesses in there.
There was quite a few, like Sam at Lee Barron. That's where they started. And let's see, where the Huntsville Eye Center, whatever the optometrist is there. That used to be TSO, but now it's they're associated with the Mayan Eye Center, Berkeley Eye Center. And that's pretty much the big meat and potatoes of it.
One thing that I remember in Huntsville before I ever even knew that I'd be moving here, my buddy went to Sam Houston State, studied criminal justice, so I used to come in to see him a couple of times.
Right.
And I remember I remember on 45 there was signage that used to say "Don't pick up hitchhikers." I kind of miss that.
Right.
I miss that.
They still have some of those on the farm to market roads.
I haven't seen any. Here's a contest, and I don't know what we're going to give away. And you can't go to Google for this, okay? Because it don't count. But if anyone
You got to put a time and date stamp on the photo.
Hold up something that legitimizes that you took the photo. Something. I don't care if it's a news from the item or maybe it's a screenshot of this show. You put something in front of the picture that you take. Send me a picture of a sign that says here in this community, somewhere here in Huntsville or Walker County, that says don't pick up hitchhikers. I want to see one because I miss those signs. They used to be on 45, right?
Oh, yeah, they used to be on 45.
You know what? I got a funny story. So I had a Jeep back in the day. No top, nothing. And I came to Huntsville to see my buddy Brandon when he was studying criminal justice. Ended up being Wharton Police Officer of the Year, by the way. That's the education he got at Houston. Awesome young man.
That is awesome.
Came to Huntsville to see him, was in my Jeep, saw a guy walking on the side of 45. Dude looked like he was having a bad day. Miserable. Well, there's 2 or 3 other guys, in the Jeep. It was Brandon and a friend of mine. So there was 3 of us total. I said, we're picking this guy up. It was legitimately right by a sign that said, don't pick up hitchhikers. And he told us, he said, man, nobody's picking me up. I said, well, you're standing next to a sign that says, don't pick up hitchhikers.
Mm-hmm.
Turned out the guy was just down the street. His 18-wheeler had broken down. He just needed to go get gas. And we helped him. We helped him, took him down the road and got him a little bit of diesel and put him on his way. And but I'll never forget that. And I wish that it was the age of social media then, because, man, we literally picked that dude up right next to a sign that said, and I even remember Brandon was like, don't pick that dude up.
Yeah. Well, I remember as a kid, when we first moved to Huntsville, they evidently had a bunch of the prisoners outside the walls, and my grandmother made the comment. She said, I didn't know the Navy was in town. And she didn't know it was a prison, and they were dressed in all white, so she thought they were sailors.
Oh my goodness. Who was this again?
My grandmother.
Oh, I love it, man.
Oh, it was priceless.
Was this Mama Pat's mom?
No, it's my dad's mother.
Your dad's mom. Oh, that's great, man. That's great.
Yeah.
So if you were 7 years old, the prison rodeo was just a couple of years away from going away. Do you remember going to 1 or 2 of them?
Oh man, that was fun. We went to the prison rodeo a lot.
It's crazy because if you drive by, there's still that one section. It's part of the housing for some of the inmates, I believe.
Right.
But there's still that one corner. And I was reading history, and that used to have seats on it. And that thing, is it true that there used to be like 20,000 seats at that facility?
Oh, yeah.
That's more than Bauer Stadium.
Yes, it was bigger than Bauer Stadium, and it was full during the Texas Prison Rodeo.
Well, see,
every day.
There you go. The FBS, NCAA had requirements for attendance to move to the FBS. Sam Hughes, it's my understanding they used part of NRG Stadium to factor into those numbers. But I'm like, man, keep the prison rodeo. Just have the football game over there. There's your 20,000.
There you go.
Easier said than done, Jason. Easier said than
Yeah, it is. Well, I remember when they tried to tear down the old rodeo arena because they said they condemned it for not being safe. It was too old. And the prison system brought in like 2 bulldozers, and they hooked them up in tandem to one of the uprights, with some cable and chain or whatever they were using, and sent those dozers forward, and it dead stopped both of the bulldozers. But they said it was condemned. It wouldn't hold the weight.
Wow. Was that I'm just going to ask this as we're circling back some good Huntsville history here. Was it a sad day in Huntsville when that thing ended and it got tore down? Were people pretty somber, or was it just like whatever?
No, I think in the big picture, I think people were somber about it because I believe, if I remember correctly, it was like every Saturday in October. I don't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. But man, you could go. It was reasonably priced. The area all the way around the Walls unit was all set up. There are food vendors, arts and crafts. Some of the incarcerated guys, or whatever you want to call them, inmates is what I call them. They'd make, leather goods and stuff like that, and they were able to sell them.
Wow.
And, they go out there and they throw everything they had into the rodeo performance. And, man, we had people like Reba McEntire and George Strait and people like that, before they ever made it real big in country music, playing live, at the Texas Prison Rodeo.
I got to wonder, guys like Cody Johnson from Huntsville, if that prison rodeo, he was a young man. I don't know if he was.
I don't think he was old enough to remember it, but I don't know.
But I'm wondering if just the history of that maybe inspired him a little bit.
Maybe.
You never know.
But I remember as a kid seeing George Strait sing. Lots of, some big name entertainers, but, most of them were up and coming.
Jay-Z, Tupac, Notorious B.I.G.
No, it wasn't any of that, man. It was all country music.
It was already shut down by then, man. Hey, this is a good question. Maybe you know the answer to this. Maybe someone else does. Richard, the Horn family said, we understand. They're new here just like me. They said, we understand the bleachers at the fairgrounds are from the prison rodeo. Is this true? I don't know the answer to that, Jason.
I don't think so, because those bleachers have been at the fairgrounds a long time.
So the fairgrounds was out there obviously while they still had the rodeo going on. What happened at the fairgrounds?
The fairgrounds was still out there because, I started in 4-H at 9 years old, and that rodeo arena's been there since then.
So they were still doing regular county rodeos along with the prison rodeo?
Yeah. Well, the county fair's in the spring, so it didn't interfere with the prison rodeo because it always happened the month of October.
Yeah, that's what's so unique about it. Growing up in Georgetown, we had a beautiful rodeo arena. Honestly, one of the reasons we left is when they destroyed that, I was like, this town's gone. Second oldest rodeo in the state of Texas. In our city, which was all new city leaders, hadn't been in the community probably more than 10 years, they all decided that they didn't want to undo the work of folks from 2012. Even though we had 5,000 signatures, they decided, forget it, we're going to let it go. And I get why now. You look back, now they have some group come in called the Two Step In Festival. And, they wrote a check to the city for over $1 million last year for their first festival. Brought in big names, and so I get it, but I'm still like, that was part of the heritage and the history, and those are the things in Huntsville. I would never want to see that rodeo arena here in Huntsville get tore down. It's so important to this community.
A lot of it a lot of the original rodeo arena from the prison rodeo has been torn down.
Well, I know the prison rodeo, but I'm talking about the one at the fairgrounds. Like, I would never want to see that go away. That's such a huge part. And what I was getting at is we had a great rodeo, but it was only for a weekend. It was only like a Friday night and a Saturday night. That was it. Boy, the one here, goes 2 weeks?
Well, the rodeo itself is only Friday night and Saturday night, but the livestock show and other events and the barbecue cook-off, it goes on for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, almost 2. It is such a neat part of Huntsville. For those of you that are watching from afar, maybe you're listening this morning on Spirit Radio FM, these are all the things that when you collectively put them together make Huntsville so great and what this community is about. And I'll tell you, when we go out there, we went to the fairgrounds, didn't go to the actual rodeo, but went to the fair. A lot of fun last year when we first came back. We went to the Bethlehem that a local church has. Wonderful, just great.
Yeah, the Journey of Bethlehem, that's great.
The events downtown, we got a big one coming up this weekend. Chili at the Lodge. Are you going to be out there, Jason, for a whole minute?
I wish I was. I'll probably be down in Pasadena at the gun show.
We'll get you some chili and bring it to you, man. All right.
Yeah, give me a to-go plate, man, and I'll try it out on Tuesday.
We're about to run out of time. I did want to get to our national day of. It's not National Barbie Day, Jason. I know you're disappointed.
I'm so heartbroken.
Boy, this is a day that is so important. I'm not a croissant fan. It is National Croissant Day. That's not what I'm excited. Are you a croissant? I don't take you as a croissant guy.
I'll eat them. I don't mind them.
I just don't take you as a croissant guy for some reason, Jay. Like, I just couldn't picture you eating croissants.
Why?
I just can't.
They're pretty good.
Jay, see, here's the thing about Jason. If you know him from the show, and you may think Jason's this like tough dude. He don't put up with nothing. And he really doesn't. Jason Thompson, don't let anybody run him around. He don't put up with any flim-flam.
Not for very long, anyway.
But here's the thing about Jason, too. He's got a heart of gold. So that's Jason Thompson in a nutshell. Don't put up with any flim-flam, but you got a heart of gold.
Yep.
So when I think of a tough...
Gotta walk that line.
I think like a tough guy, man. A tough guy, I just don't think a tough guy would eat croissants, but I guess so.
I just said, if the opportunity arises, I'll eat one.
That's not what we're excited about. Jason, here's what we're excited about today.
Come on, let's hear it.
Something that you and I need, something that everyone probably needs, and there's never a better time to start than right now. The last Tuesday in January. It was founded in 2018 by National Day Calendar and the U.S. Travel Association. They teamed up on this one. Today, it's the National Plan for Your Vacation Day.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
So let's take a brief moment. Jason, vacation for you. What would the ultimate vacation be for you?
As of right now, if I could do just pretty much anything and not worry about money.
Not worry about nothing.
I would probably go on a cruise from either Florida or California through the Panama Canal.
I wonder who does that.
Princess Cruise Lines.
Okay.
That's one of them. Most of them go through the Panama Canal.
I just wanted you to say princess and croissant on the show today, and you did.
Yeah, I'll bet you did.
My day is complete.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'd love to do? I don't know if it'd be like the ultimate vacation, but I'd like to take one of those river cruises down the Mississippi.
Those are pretty pricey. I'd either like to do that, or I'd like to go to Africa on a safari, not to hunt, but on an African safari.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm so busy that it's just hard for me to. Bridget wants to go. Man, she's going to get. Bridget wants to go to Greece. I said, sweetheart, if you want to go to Greece, just look on the stove.
Well, my podiatrist, he's from Greece.
A train, yeah. Well,
So
Jamie had a good one. I would like this one. And Bridget and I went on a train. They had this really cool, and in the hill country, I forget, I think it's something, I don't remember what, Hill Country Flyers, what it's called.
Okay.
And Jamie said, a train ride across the country. I would love to do that. We rode on the Hill Country Flyer just for 3 or 4 hours, had a blast. It was in a in a car that only had like 10 seats. They had the tickets were for the 10 seat car. I think it was only like $40, and then the general admission cars were like $8. So we paid a little bit more to have more of that kind of private space. One of the most fun things I've ever done. It was just a train ride for 3 or 4 hours.
I rode train up in Alaska from Fairbanks, Alaska, all the way down to just outside of Anchorage. Now, we didn't do it all in one day, but that was pretty cool. I'd do that again.
We're going to have to figure that. We're going to have to get someone to sponsor that. We'll take Hello Huntsville on the road, and we'll do a train trek across America, and we'll go live every morning, Jason. Let's figure out how to do that.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do it.
Jamie said the Royal Gorge train ride. I've heard of that. That'd be kind of cool. So,
yep.
All right, well, friends, it's been a fun one today. Let's head over to the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Got a swag bag going to a lucky winner today if they answer the phone.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, this is your car warranty company. How are you doing today? Just kidding.
They hung up on you. Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's a new person, Jason. I'm afraid to call him back. I'm really afraid to call him back.
You got to now because that's funny.
They may. I don't want him to get upset on the show.
You trying to be like those guys down in Houston, the DJs that call them prank people.
Yeah, but oh, that's great. Man. I'll text him.
That is too funny.
I'll call him later. I don't want to ever do that to somebody that we don't know that starts like getting upset on the show.
I hope they don't get mad and quit watching us.
It only took 202 episodes to have someone hang up on us, Jason.
That's the funny part.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up here today. I'm not going to call them back because, look, I would hate to be the person because I get upset sometimes, man, when people do that to me. Yeah, see, the Horn family said we'd hang up on you also.
I'd have hung up on you too.
I'm not going to call him back live because I've been in that situation.
No.
I've been in that situation, and I've gotten pretty upset. I would not want anybody. Oh, is it Jennifer? Is that you? Yeah, Jennifer, that was you. Okay, Jennifer, we're going to call her back.
All right, call her back.
Hello?
Jennifer, this is not your car warranty company. This is Rob from Hello Huntsville. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
You have, out of 202 episodes, you are the very first person to hang up on us, so congratulations. So
I didn't recognize the number. I'm sorry.
No,
no, it was priceless.
And we decided that we weren't going to call you back because I get upset sometimes, and I was like, I don't want that person to get upset on the air. We're not going to do that to you. So, well, Jennifer, congratulations. You have won. We got a Hello Huntsville swag bag that we're going to get to you. How does that sound? We got a bunch of goodies in there for you. Awesome. Do you live here in Huntsville?
Yes, I live off of Old Houston Road.
Awesome. Well, how did you find out about us?
You did, you were at the Christmas thing at the VFW.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. Awesome. Well, Jennifer, we appreciate you so much, and thanks for watching. Real quick, 2 last questions. How long have you been here in Huntsville?
Almost 3 years.
Where did you move from?
Virginia.
Wow, awesome. From Virginia to East Texas. Love it. And I guess the last question, Jason Thompson will ask you this question. We always ask our guests this question.
What are you most thankful for living in Huntsville?
The community.
All right. Well, we love it. We love the community too. Jennifer, we appreciate you, and your car warranty is fine, so don't worry about that. All right. We'll get you that swag bag. How does that sound?
All right, thank you.
All right. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
That was great, Jason.
That's still funny. I'm going to laugh about that all day.
202 episodes, and they hung up on us. Oh, that's great. Jennifer, thank you for doing that, by the way. Thanks for letting us know it was you, but thank you for hanging up. We need a little change of pace here on the show once in a while.
Yeah, we got to get the viewership back.
Oh, great. All right, friends. Well, been a fun one. Again, find out more information about the Thompsons and Guardian Defense. You're not going to find out the family history, but you'll find out about the business. Go online to GuardianDefenseLLC.com. And again, they are your experts here in this area. All things personal safety. If you need ammo, if you need a firearm, they sell those too. And they'll take great care of you. They are licensed, of course. They do everything by the book. And if you can't see them out at their property, guess what? You'll see them at gun shows. The next one, where's it at, Jason?
Pasadena this weekend at the Pasadena Convention Center off Fairmont Parkway.
How far is Pasadena?
Hour and a half, give or take. Depends on traffic.
Pasadena just sounds like a good old town. You know it is. It's a good old town to be in.
No, it has a distinctive nickname called Stinkadena.
That was like Waco back in the day had a nickname that was pretty funny. All right, well, Jason, been a blast, man. Appreciate you, and buddy, we're praying that you'll get to feeling better again soon. And we're just going to keep on rocking and rolling, man, celebrating all the good things happening here in our community. We couldn't do it without you, so we appreciate it, Jason.
Well, I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, my friend. Well, have a blessed day, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, well, there he is again, Jason Thompson. Friends, I'm going to close it out here in just a few moments. We appreciate you so much every morning for being a part of this show. Today, I wanted to just share a little bit of inspiration with you. Maybe some of you today have been working so hard, but you feel like things just aren't working out the way that you had hoped. And I want to encourage you this morning to remain in faith and be confident that your breakthrough is truly coming. You might be facing challenges or obstacles this morning. Some of those things seem so insurmountable, situations that appear that you'll never be able to attain them. But friends, I want you to know that God is working in your life, even when you can't see it. He's arranging things in your favor. He's preparing a season for blessing. When you go back and read Scripture, Isaiah 43:19 in the New Living Translation reads, "For I'm about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland." God is telling us in this verse that He's doing a new thing. And friends, it's already in motion. You might feel like you're in a wilderness right now. God is about to make that pathway for you where there seems to be no way. He's going to show you a way. Where things seem dry and desolate, He's going to bring refreshing rivers of His grace and favor to you this morning. Your part, though, is to believe. And I said it earlier, to keep your faith strong. And when you do that, you open the door for God to move in miraculous ways. Your breakthrough, well, it may not come in the way you expect, but friends, it will come. It's closer than you think. So today, shake off any doubt that you have. Shake off fear. Many of us live in fear every day for the unknown. Shake that off. And declare that your breakthrough is coming because God is always true to His word. Friends, this morning, no matter where you're at, no matter the situation, the circumstance, you can't deny it, but stay faithful and most importantly, stay hopeful. Your breakthrough is on the way. It's going to be more than amazing and more than you can imagine. God has something incredible in store for you. He's turning your trials into triumphs, your obstacles into opportunities. And friends, you have to believe it and receive it and get ready for the new things that God is doing in your life. I truly believe this morning somebody needed to hear that word, and even if it doesn't seem like it's on the way, you just have to remain in faith and great things happen. Wanted to leave you that this morning, friends. We love you. We're going to be back on tomorrow. We'll be talking with some classmates from the Huntsville Leadership Institute, class of 42, Jessica Andrees and Rachel Parker joining us to talk about a very important event that's going to be coming up very soon, a blessing for our seniors here in Huntsville, Texas. So you want to make sure that you join us again tomorrow as we'll have our good friends Rick and Kay Boning from tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools joining us as our co-host. That'll wrap it up here on a terrific Tuesday. Big thanks to everyone who was engaging with us this morning. We saw many friends out there, and I didn't have a chance to say hi to everyone, but Steph Valley over at Magnolia Kennel, Kathy Schweitzer, Kyle Kreiner, Denise Winston, good to see you on this morning. Jamie Salas. Quentin Glaze, by the way. Quentin is our most engaged viewer and most engaged on Hello Huntsville. I wanted to highlight that, Quentin. We appreciate you so much, so thank you for all of your support and so many others who help make this show possible and make our website possible. To keep up to date with all the good things happening in Huntsville, visit HelloHuntsvilleTX.com. We've got some great articles coming up here in the next couple of days. Big thanks to Michelle Cardenas, our intern, who went out and found some information on some great things happening here in Huntsville. We'll have those on the website a little bit later this week. Friends, as I end every show here on a terrific Tuesday, reminding you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own, friends. We need each other. Please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until tomorrow morning, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and we'll see you back at it again tomorrow. So long, everyone.